podcast universe, of the boxing universe, of the whole fucking universe, actually. Fuck that. This was a whole universe-wide thing. Welcome to the Phantom Punch podcast.
This is one of them days when you feel good coming to work, huh? Feel good. Feel good walking in.
Listen, I gotta be honest. I am still on cloud nine about this past weekend. I hope all of our listeners are. I hope you are. But yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, Phantom Punch podcast boys, we are here to recap and give you all the take that you need for boxing. I am Johnny Southpaw here with my man
Apollo Ali here, man. Let's go, baby. Let's get right into it.
We might as well get into it because
there's nowhere else to start.
There's nowhere else to be. First and foremost, I don't know if anybody checks out our Instagram, but if you don't, you need to. At Phantom Punch Podcast, on Twitter at Phantom Punch Pod. And if you're watching this, then you already listened to or subscribe to our YouTube. But if not, check out Phantom Punch Podcast on YouTube. We get videos up there. We have a lot of other stuff coming in the works, and we have some other things on there that you can watch too, like some AC Boxing Hall of Fame joints. We got some stuff coming up for your granddad. Before we jump into it, should we do the pitch is this weekend?
Well, shit, yeah, it's this weekend, man. October 16th, calling all surrounding areas. Camden, New Jersey, there will be a parade going through the city, and we are erecting and unveiling the statue of the great Jersey Joe Walcott. Looking forward to this event. It's been a long time coming. Excited to see it. Excited to see all of you guys out there, the boxing fans, the supporters. So look forward to seeing y'all and come out and be a part of history, man. Like I said, October 16th, 1 o'clock, Camden Waterfront.
It's going to be a beautiful thing. I cannot wait. I'm excited for that. We will be out there. The weather looks nice. So, you know what I mean? Yes. Should be a good time, man. I'm excited to see it and be a part of it with you and your family, man. So
indeed.
It's gonna be dope. But speaking of heavyweights
and lineal champions,
also, I don't know if you saw it in there, but I saw that they threw in, in the lead-ins and how they do all the B-roll of all the fighters and all that stuff. I did see the Rocky Marciano joint in there with Grandpa. They had that in there.
Yeah. Classic.
But I thought that was dope. But yeah, man. All right. So let's start. Tyson Fury takes on Deontay Wilder for the third time.
Trilogy.
The trilogy fight. Very few trilogies in boxing.
Heavyweights, especially.
Especially heavyweights. I mean, what other heavyweights are there? There's Ali Frazier.
Holyfield Tyson was only 2, right?
Holyfield Tyson was 2. They could have fought again.
But yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah. Holyfield didn't want to do that again.
I think that's it.
Something.
I think Lennox had 2 with Klitschko. He had 2 with Hasim Rahman. And I don't think he had trilogies. No, I'm drawing a blank. I don't think he had any trilogies. But yeah, man. I mean, honestly, let's just jump into it. The whole entire card, I was excited about that card because I knew that they had said it was going to be all heavyweights, a heavyweight night.
Yeah.
And we got it, man. A lot of these guys delivered. The undercards were strong. The commentary was strong. I mean, honestly, I don't have much negative to say about the entire night of boxing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what do you think, man? What do we got? Give me something.
I mean, where do you begin? The coming out with the male belly dancers let me know this was going to be a wild night. For that's for Tyson Fury, of course, but I mean, rewind it all, bro. Rewind it all back, and it's like the Ajagbe fight. Didn't see that coming.
No.
But it unveiled his weaknesses. It unveiled the limitations that he has. We got what he fought, the Cuban Frank
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yeah. I mean, he reminded me of a smaller King Kong.
Very much so. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He moved beautifully. He did a lot of cool shit for his weight class and size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never one of them slick, skilled fighters, knows his angles. You know what I mean? Knows what he wants to do in there, a complete ring general. So that was a great fight. And honestly, I forgot that was even on the card.
Same.
Along with
I forgot J-Rock was
J-Rock. Yeah, I was just
card.
about to say I ain't even I not even forget. I didn't even know J-Rock was supposed to be on the card. But good to see him back in action. What you think about that fight?
I hated the fact that fight. I didn't think he lost 7 rounds of that fight. I did not like that decision. I thought that was a shitty decision.
Yeah.
He had a good fight. He did look gassed. He did look I don't know if he had I believe he had COVID in the past. I don't know if that's has a thing to do with it or if it's just simply the fucking layoff, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's I don't know if that was an issue or whatever have you, but yeah, that was tough to watch. I love J-Rock. We all love J-Rock here at on the pod, but in this area specifically, being a Philly native, that was tough to watch. Edgar Berlanga, man, he got Berlanga got tested.
A lot of knockout artists were put in a situation on the biggest card of the year where you're gonna have to show us a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I thought that happened for Ajagba and Berlanga as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Edgar Berlanga took on Marcos. What is his name? Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. Marcos Esteban Coceres. I think that's his name. El Telible. That's all I know.
Okay,
But he was 30-1 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. He took on a 30-1 fighter. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's he's got a hell of a record. That kid has fought a lot of people. And it looked like it. He was a vet. You know what I mean? He's definitely a veteran of the sport.
Yeah.
And yeah, listen, man, I don't know.
Yo, tripping. Heavyweight trilogies. Edward Ezra Charles, Jersey Joe Walcott. Heavyweight trilogies.
I didn't know it was a trilogy. I thought they fought twice.
Trilogy. Ken Norton and Ali too.
Ken Norton and Ali fought 3 times.
I'm pretty sure, bro. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he only.
So that's 2 that I can remember. I'm pretty sure he fought Ken Norton 3 times, bro.
But I didn't know about.
Y'all let us know if I'm wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, shout us. Yeah, feel free to let us know. I'm sure Six will call me out for not knowing 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Berlanga was tested, man. That kid he needs more rounds. Honestly, he looked like.
Well, we know that. I mean, he's just only in his last 2 fights been actually getting some rounds.
Yeah. This one and the last one. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that he's got a bright future. He has a big star, but
he's in good hands.
Right.
He's being moved around, cautiously and properly. And
it was a tough fight for him, though. It was a tough fight when he got knocked down.
He needed it.
I thought he wasn't getting back up, bro.
He was mad at it. He was mad at himself for that. He
Right.
needed it. He needed it though.
Yeah, that's it's definitely good for a young kid.
Even in that isolated fight alone, it just further set the tone that we were here to see boxing tonight. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to do something you didn't do to get the results you want tonight. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to dig. You're gonna have to get up off the canvas. You're gonna have to show yourself that you really want it. You know what I mean? None of this was layups and setups for somebody to look good tonight.
I mean, I can make an argument about Jared Anderson. That kid is fucking nice, bro. That kid is really good. He fought Vladimir Tereshkin. Yeah, that guy. But he was 22-0. So he's never taken a loss in his career. He was undefeated, but he was out of the sport for a while, and you could clearly see the difference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But Jared Anderson, I mean, the new big baby or the real big baby.
So wait, were you saying he was set up to look good?
I think so. So.
Okay.
I mean, that kid is a problem, and Styles make fights, and that kid was supremely way better than his opponent.
Right.
Way better. But
overall, man, the night was a night of. I mean, come on, man. We've been complaining about cards for the past year and a half, maybe even further than that. You know what I'm saying? So this weekend's fights were worth the time spent waiting for the heavyweight fight. You know what I mean? And the fight itself was everything it was built up to be. I have no complaints about this weekend's cards. You know what I'm saying?
No, whatsoever. I agree with you. I don't think I could complain about anything. I think the Adam Kalnacki fight against Robert Helenius, that was another good fight. Two big ass dudes.
Yeah.
Kalnacki wanted out of that ASAP. So hence the low blows and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, let's get down to the shits. You already know. We talked about the undercards. We talked about everything. I know we went live and we had
if you caught the live, you caught some of what we discussed. And one of the points I wanted to rehash about that on here was just again the production value of events like this versus the fights that come on every week, every Friday, every other Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that has no regard to if it was an ESPN or ESPN Plus fight or if it's a Showtime fight,
right?
Any fight, Triller, whoever. The production value of fights of this magnitude really engage the casual fans, the newcomers to boxing, the person that just became a fan, and the old time fans. Like it engages everyone from beginning to end. And I just think that production value that they put into this fight, and of course this is big money fights, it's a big money event. Yeah. Everybody's making money tonight when events like this happen. But
I did.
Yeah, you did. I didn't bet, but
no.
My point in saying that is that I think they should take a little more time to curate the vibe on these fights that maybe are not so big as this, but you can entertain without a circus.
Yeah. 100%.
You can just sell boxing and entertain.
Listen, when boxing is at its peak, is at its pinnacle, nothing else in the world can compete.
Right.
There's nothing. There's not another sport in this felt like the Super Bowl. This felt like the Super Bowl, but also like that heavyweight fight thing that's in the air that everyone is talking about. That you walk outside and you start your day off, and it's like, today's fight day, baby. We know what's gonna happen. Like everybody knows what you're getting. Everybody's ready to. You got your moves planned for later. You know what's going on. Like, and you know where you want to be and where you're gonna be. You have your whole day set for the fight tonight. And it felt it's a feeling just past Super Bowl. And maybe I'm off in the
I would agree.
In the general consensus
when it's
of things.
When it's a fight, like it's a fight.
Right.
I mean, when it's that, there's nothing compares to it.
No, I mean,
because it's all on the line at all seconds. Like we saw at every second of this event, it's all on the line. You know what I mean? And the Super Bowl doesn't compare to that because you get another chance. You get to go on defense and then you get to go on offense. And you know what I mean? You get a break.
Yeah, it's a longer drawn out process.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's all on the line every time you move a muscle. You know what I mean? So it's just a different thing.
Yeah, for real. And I think it was a special night, honestly, bro. And I was, I was wondering what casuals were gonna be into it at first, just because it's the third fight, and I don't know, it feels like a changed world we live in. And then I started getting text messages, I started seeing posts, and I realized I was like, okay, we're in the Super Bowl right now. This is everybody's fight tonight. Everybody's watching, everybody's tuned in. And if you're not watching, I'm sorry, because
you under a rock somewhere. Yeah,
you missed history, bro.
Yeah, it's a great fight. Great. It'll go down as one of them.
Yeah,
it'll go down as one of them.
Honestly,
one of those.
And then we might as well just start breaking down the fight. We might as well jump into it, bro. I mean, so I just want to reiterate here that you picked Wilder. I went with Fury. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm just saying. And we got what I feel like I got what I paid for, first and foremost.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's start at the ring walks. I mean, you already mentioned part of it. Start at the ring walk.
I thought that. I mean, it was like a combination of this gypsy vibe versus Spartan 300, and he had a male belly dancer that kind of threw me off. I didn't really understand why that had to be there.
It's a 300 reference. He definitely been watching that movie too much.
Yeah. So there was that. There was the Jesus hat. There was, all of the talking points or things that would make this ring walk be something to either like him or not like him. most likely like him. You know what I mean? All of that was there. I thought Wilder came out as minimalistic as Wilder could possibly come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was still a whole lot of still fur on the trims of everything on the robe, still wore the mask, but no extra stuff.
I like the fact he came out with Lux.
Yeah, that was dope too. That was dope as hell. Definitely shout out to Loaded Lux, man. That was fire. Once they was in the ring, you just felt it. You just felt the energy. It was just all seriousness. It was all business. The look in their eyes, you never forget it. It was like, oh, now we about to see something great right here tonight, because they both knew what this was. And I love Fury trash talking.
Fury was trash talking now up until the very last second.
Yeah, he was ready.
As soon as he had his mouthpiece in, he was like, "You bitch." Yeah, I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Shit. He was ready. Nah, he was ready. It was serious. It was serious because this fight wasn't about anything other than the legacy and the glory. They knew what this was. They knew what this moment was, and I feel like they both showed up and performed to the best of their ability, man. And Tyson Fury came out on top, as we know, but that doesn't describe the whole story by just saying that Tyson Fury won.
Not at all. And I think credit is due to Deontay Wilder. I said it on the Instagram the other day or yesterday, something like that. But credit is due to Deontay Wilder, because you hear these fighters all the time. They always say, "Oh, I changed this, I changed that. I'm gonna be a different fighter. I'm gonna be this guy. I'm not gonna do this anymore." Blah 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 blah. And you hear that stuff from fighters all the time, and people say that all the time, like I'm gonna be different or something's gonna be different, and it usually never shakes out that way.
Right.
But the Deontay that I saw Saturday night, he came
the first
out,
4 rounds at least.
Yeah, with the first 4 or 5 rounds, I think he came out as a different fighter, and he was phenomenal. Yeah. Working the body, he just straight right out the gate
from the door. Yeah, he was ripping him from the door,
just ripping it downstairs.
And I like seeing that. I was like, oh, okay, this is new. This is that's an advancement for you.
Yeah,
that's an advancement for you. And he was intentional on staying there early in the fight. You know what I mean?
Right. And I was all about it. I mean, he kept throwing like 1-2 downstairs, which you don't see too much at the heavyweight level, because especially with Deontay, that you can hurt somebody with that right hand. So I'm just going to launch that right hand. But he stayed disciplined for the first few rounds. And I mean, I thought I thought the fight was fantastic. I thought it was a great fight. I give a ton of credit to Deontay, and just to clean that up and wrap that up, I think for me, there is not a single soul outside of Tyson Fury on the planet that can beat Deontay Wilder.
Agreed.
I don't think so.
And I wanna mention this because I think it was Ring Magazine posted their heavyweight rankings or something now, and they had Tyson Fury, just the king of the division, Alexander Usyk at 2. Anthony Joshua at 3, and Deontay Wilder at 4. I completely disagree with that. And AJ is at 4 or 5, wherever you want to put him at this point.
Yep.
And Wilder does not deserve to be 4th in that division. He can be second. He could be second if he wanted to be, right, but 3rd for now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I would love to see him fight both Usyk and Joshua. I think he gets Joshua the fuck out of here at this point.
I think so too. I think if that Deontay Wilder shows up again, and I want to dive into that later. Like, I want to have a conversation about what the future looks like for Deontay and his career and his health and all that. But if that Deontay Wilder shows up against Anthony Joshua's going to sleep. Yeah. He's going to bed. I'm sorry. Yo. He hits entirely too fucking hard. Entirely. Usyk wobbled him. Usyk has he's 30 pounds lighter than him.
Right.
You get a guy who's bigger than you.
This is my
heavier?
point. So this is my point in Ring Magazine's rankings. Like, what is it? Just the fact that he was in the position to hold them belts? Is it the belts that are you saying it? Because from the eye test and what we've seen him accomplish, he doesn't deserve to be ranked higher than Deontay Wilder. In
Absolutely
my opinion.
not. I think it's. I think
people that he lost to before we knew that you could lose. Deontay Wilder would not have lost to those men
Yeah, no.
before being the blueprint being shown from a Tyson Fury. Like if he had to fight
Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz before getting like that, it wouldn't have went that way.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it would be an interesting fight still, but I don't.
Still, no, it wouldn't be easy because we all know Andy Ruiz can fight. He can box, but he'd have got the job done.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Size difference. Because Anthony, I wanted to say this again, not to make this hate on Anthony Joshua time, but Anthony Joshua is just as big or not bigger. No, same about just as big as all these super heavyweights. Yeah. But he is the one that really doesn't use his size or utilize any of that. You know what I mean? All the muscles, all the strength. You don't see it in the ring.
Right.
I mean, you see it in the ads and the pictures, but you don't see it applied to his opponents. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, they're aesthetics. They're aesthetic muscles. That's all it really is. I'm with you, but I think Deontay, I think that you can make the comparison to people that Deontay has already fought and beat to anybody who he hasn't fought yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think King Kong is bigger and beats Andy Ruiz because he can box. He's a little bit slicker. The age thing might play a part, but I do think
at this day, yeah. But I mean, in the year they fought, he still had something in the tank.
Yeah, a couple like 5 years ago, I think it was, maybe 3 years ago. I think he smokes Andy Ruiz. And that being said, I thought King Kong had the best chance to beat Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
Deontay just fucking
got him out of here.
Laid him out.
Yeah. And that was a great fight too. That was a great fight.
I agree. But I'm saying all that to say that I don't think that there is another heavyweight on this planet that can beat Deontay Wilder other than Tyson Fury. Fury,
and I agree to that.
Tyson Fury is the supreme ruler of all heavyweights, and he proved it again, and then one more time this past weekend. So,
well, see, we don't talk about it a lot, but like all the belts are great. You know what I mean? The WBC, everything, like they're beautiful, but there's something to being the lineal champ.
Yeah.
When you're the man that beat the man that beat the man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's something about that makes your pedigree a little different.
Yeah.
And it was on display this weekend. I mean, it's just part of the story, man. It's like it's just different, you know?
Yeah.
Winning the title through a vacancy or whatever the case may be.
Winning 3 titles or 4 titles. How many does Usyk have now? The only reason that AJ had those titles and now Usyk has those titles is because Tyson Fury got pinged for cocaine. Mm-hmm. Not for PEDs, not for I mean that man was
partying.
Exactly. He was partying, he was outside, he didn't give a fuck about boxing, his health, his family, his sport, nothing. He was outside doing drugs. And that was, I mean, that's something to speak of for Tyson Fury in his past, that he overcame that. But the only reason that he has those belts and anybody else has had those belts is because Tyson Fury lost them because of cocaine.
Right.
Not funny meat, not injections, not nothing, not IVs, nothing. So honestly, that man is the only person that can like lean on everybody else like this. Like
he's the champ. He's the champ. He's the champ. And we even hashed that out a little bit on the live of the fact that, metaphorically speaking, Fury and Wilder's names will be married together in history the same way Ali and Frazier are married together in history. And the characters or the positioning of who's who is clear that Fury is the Ali of this generation in that metaphorical sense.
Yeah.
And if you want to look at it like, okay, he didn't lose his belts from a political reasoning and having to go do a prison stint, but he lost them for whatever he was doing in his lifestyle. And whoever else got him, you're not the real champ. Tyson Fury's still the real champ because nobody's beat that man. And he's the man that beat the man. Lineal, like we said. So, I mean, of course, he deserves a chance to go unify all of that and reclaim his belts. And if that fight happens, whoever is against, I see him going on and doing that. So, I mean, like I said, it's not nothing new. We've seen similar things happen, and it's just a phenomenal story, man. Tyson Fury is one of the GOATs, man. One of the GOATs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
I think
you can't. And the same thing with like before I finish that, because there are people that will rebuttal that statement, and I feel like you can't blame Tyson Fury for who's in front of him the same way we couldn't be mad at Roy Jones for whoever his competition was at the time.
listen.
It is what it is. He's the GOAT. He's the best in his era and his generation, and nobody got anything to say about it.
I will say, and this is what we discussed on live, and I'm going to throw that out there because it is a caveat to what you said. So I don't necessarily know for a fact that the heavyweights of the 90s and the 80s could beat the heavyweights of today. No one knows for a fact, obviously, because
You can never know that for a fact.
Two different eras, right? But even when you start saying things on paper, 6'9", 5'8", 6'9", 6'8", 200 something pounds, where Lennox was 6'7" and 220 pounds, give or take.
That one is still fair. Like Lennox was a bigger
He's
of that
the
era.
closest. Lennox is
Foreman,
the closest.
Big George Foreman.
Yeah, but Big George was only like 6'5".
Yeah.
He's still going up. He's Usyk.
Hold on. 6'5" ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Listen, I'm 5'9". What do you want I get it. I'm with you. But I'm just saying, like, when you comparatively put, like, on paper, a human being versus human being, and you just have to, all right, well, I'm going to pick somebody A or B, and you don't know their pedigree, you don't know anything about them. On paper, the bigger guys, the bigger people are usually what most people are going to go with. And for me, and this is what I said on the live. If you haven't seen it, we're going to bring it here and I'm going to have a conversation about it. And I want y'all to let us know. I think that Tyson Fury beats 99% of heavyweights throughout history. That includes Ali, that includes Foreman, and that includes Frazier. Lennox Lewis is the only one that I would flip a coin for. Oh, and Tyson. I think he beats Tyson too.
I can't.
That's big for me to say because Muhammad Ali.
Hey, listen.
I mean, one of the goats of my life.
What I will say is that I think he gives anybody in any generation a hell of a night. But I'm not just like bowing down to Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury being the greatest heavyweight ever. No, because I don't have enough. Like I said, just same way you can't really be mad at him because of who the opponents are out there for him. Like that's not his fault. And at the same time, just the fact that he was able to develop these skills, and he has them so much more than everybody else that's in his weight class because none of them really have it the way he has it.
Right.
I mean, at least the ones that are competing at that level.
Yeah.
It's hard to really gauge how skilled he actually is because we never see him up against an equally or closely equal skilled opponent. As far as skill, size you can't teach, but we talking about comparing his run and his boxing prowess right now, and being the one and only shining beacon of a big man that knows the science of boxing, compared to generations before where everyone knew the science of boxing and had their own techniques. It was like fucking right. Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. Some motherfuckers coming in like this, you know what I mean? Everybody's doing, and they have styles, they have skills. So right. I think you can't, it's hard to always try to compare the now to the then. And these are all the variables that make it impossible to really gauge that. But I do agree that he would give pretty much anybody a hard night.
And I think that's the real overarching point of everything. Like, yes, I think maybe on any given night anybody can win, especially among the greats. But like, it's crazy to see, like, if we all take a moment, everybody kind of pause and realize like you're living in the Jordan, LeBron, Kobe debate. You know what I mean? You're living in that debate.
To add to that, you're absolutely right. Because if Fight Night drops a new game tonight, everybody's online picking Tyson Fury to fight him. I don't care who you pick. Love Ali to death, Give me Tyson Fury though.
Right,
He's
right.
6'9". He's 300 pounds. I'm fighting whoever with this all night. I'm never like it's gonna be Tyson Fury versus Tyson Fury matches forever because you're not gonna want to pick nobody else to fight with.
Right.
I get that.
Right. And
I get that.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's crazy. Like nobody ever takes, like, we always are asking, like, we're even going to ask in a couple minutes, like, what's next? But we should all just take a minute to appreciate the fact that we are living in someone's time that puts themselves into the conversation with the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
The greatest boxers of all time, heavyweight boxers of all time. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think that we're witnessing this right now.
Right,
and I think, again, can't say enough about Tyson Fury. Just the resilience to get up off the canvas twice.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to get up the first time looked like it hurt. I don't know if you've seen the slow motion replay, but the man got his neck fat punched down to his stomach fat. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And then he did it again. He got up again, and
they knew it was all on the line, man. They knew it was all on the line, man. It had to be brutal. I hope both of them are feeling, well today.
Yeah.
Healthy enough as you can be after a heavyweight championship fight and speedy recovery.
Did you see Tyson Fury went out? He was in the club in Vegas with Steve Aoki, and he was in a rave and all that shit.
Yeah.
That
He should be, man.
Right.
He's living it to the fullest right now. And you can't be mad at him, man. I mean, the man says the right things before and after fights. I mean, we haven't really seen him in suffer a defeat and how he responds to that. But even he's graceful in victory, man. And he just says the right shit, man. He's a cool dude, man. You can't really be mad at him, man. He worked for it. It's not like it's just being handed to him.
I mean, nobody
can really say bad about Tyson Fury.
I don't know who would have ever have picked him to beat a Klitschko, but like when he beat a Klitschko, I was like, wait a fucking second.
I was watching that, and I had no idea who Tyson Fury was when I watched that.
Right.
That was my first time seeing him.
Right. I think that was a lot of our introduction into Tyson Fury, and then it's been nuts since then.
Roller coaster since.
Yeah.
It's become a star worldwide.
But much respect to that man and, him and his family. And I'm with you. I think, I'm hopeful for Deontay. Tyson did have some comments after the fight that I thought he made some interesting points, and it just kind of made me think and stop and think for a couple seconds about Deontay. And he said that, basically to sum it up, he said that he knows that Deontay is a warrior, but he got hit with some really big shots during the fight. Tyson knew that he hit him and he hurt him a few times, and he got hit with some what Tyson calls career-ending shots. And I would hate to see that for Deontay. I would love to see him fight again, but that's being selfish as always. As boxing fans, we're always very selfish about not thinking about a fighter's health or what have you. But I did think that watching that fight, like this man.
It was ugly. It was brutal.
It was rough. It was rough. Tyson came in to lean on him, to rough him up. Man.
He was making me tired looking at that shit.
Fam, could you imagine basically 300 pounds just leaning on you all night long?
Right.
Grab him, hold him. Grab him, hold him. Like,
and it's 300 pounds, and it's 300 pounds with arms that is lean on you and hold you and pull you down and put my weight on the back of your neck and all night, bro. Like, I was tired looking at it.
Yeah, bro, that's a lot.
And looking at Deontay's legs, it's like, oh, he's not built for this shit.
Nah,
he barely holding himself up.
Deontay does need to get back outside and do some fucking leg day. Every day. I
think he might have put on a little too much. I mean, I was watching his gram and I would see him in the gym. He's just
bench
lifting as much as he possibly can, and it's like, that's nice. I don't know what that's going to do for your fight, and it may have been the extra reason to fatigue for him.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean?
He did gas out, but I mean, they were both gassed. But you could definitely.
They were going to be gassed either way. It really didn't matter how they prepared. They were going to put it all in there. You know what I mean? It wasn't really a second off. It wasn't a break round. It wasn't we're going to take a break this round. It was just, we got to get this done.
That's one of the craziest things. There's always in heavyweight, like the fight that we had just seen before that with Frank Sanchez and F.A. Ajagba, they were getting booed. Like it slowed down. Like typical heavyweight fights normally do. It slows down.
Let me get my second win together.
Right. And these guys were just like Tyson was coming up from underneath, throwing that uppercut, and Deontay was still like landing shots, putting him on the ropes and all of that. Like, I mean, they fought from start to finish.
This is what I also do want to say though, man. I feel like the worst thing that could have happened in that fight for Deontay is scoring that knockdown. Because after that, he forgot all about the game plan and resorted back to his headhunting tactics.
Yeah,
because he felt like, I got it now.
And you knew that. I mean? See, like everybody kind of knew that was going to happen. Like even a lot of the commentary, which we haven't touched on, which is something I want to talk about too. But even a lot of the commentary were saying, like leading up to the fight, like we hope Deontay really has changed. We hope he made changes. We hope that sticks. But what everyone is counting on is when he gets tired, when he gets gassed, you go back to doing the same shit. And it just happens. You drop your hands, or you are holding a lot, or you're not focusing on the body. You're not moving and stepping off and all of that. Like, I mean, and it did happen. It did happen for him when he finally got fatigued and got gassed. Yeah. But again, I feel bad even saying that because Deontay he showed improved a lot.
Absolutely.
His stock didn't drop.
He gained more fans because of this fight. And if it is, I would love to see him fight again. And you know, continue his career. But if for whatever reason this was the last time we see Deontay Wilder, he made a great account of himself. You can't be mad at, you know, the career that he's had. Does he have the record for the most title defenses, or he matched it?
I think he matched it, and I think he holds the most consecutive KOs. Or highest KO percentage or most consecutive, one or the other. But it was like he ran into like, I think his record's like 30 something. He ran into, it was like 29 knockouts in a row or some shit like that. It was, I don't know, it was something nuts.
Can't be mad at the career he's had up until this point.
Absolutely.
If it's said and done with that, you know what I mean? And he, like we've said, and I'm saying it again, he put it all on the line this weekend. That's how you lose if you have to lose. Yeah. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud and you know, honored to have been able to witness this night, their history, and be a fan of boxing. You know what I mean?
For real. Honestly, bro, like I woke up and I was doing family shit the next day, and one of my buddies was like, yeah, man, I didn't even get a chance to see the fight. I was like, listen, man, I'm sorry, because that was literally the best fight that one of the best fights I think I've ever seen. The only ones that come to mind for me that I've witnessed in my lifetime are Triple G Canelo, I think, is up there. I don't really recall Gotti Ward because I was really, really young, but just those wars, like that kind of fight that you leave like, holy shit, like I just witnessed history. Yeah. But that's why I told him, I was like, listen, man, if you can find the replay somewhere, you need to watch it because it's one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life, and arguably one of the greatest heavyweight fights that there has ever been. If you list top 10 heavyweight fights of all time, Ali Frazier, Ali Foreman, Wilder Fury 3 has to be in there. It just, no argument about it. You can't. It has to be in there.
They showed improved, man. They showed improved.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But all right. So how did you? One of the things I did want to mention is shout out to Max Kellerman, man. I miss hearing him.
Yes, sir.
In boxing, bro. It was.
He looked like he was in his glory, man. He was happy to be back, happy to be in the building, happy to be able to flex like he does with the plethora of boxing knowledge that he has, you know, stored in his repertoire. It was on full display, you know what I'm saying? It was on full display. He was in his element. I was happy to see that, especially after, you know, the whole first take debacle. And, you know, he didn't belong over there talking about basketball anyway, man. Let's Max on boxing. Let's talk boxing, Max.
I agree.
So that was dope.
It was nice to see. I think Andre did a great job.
Absolutely.
I love to see Ward.
Lennox too.
Yeah, Ward and Lennox.
Only thing I was saying is it looked like they switched ties. Like, what it looked like Lennox had on the tie that goes with Andre's suit and vice versa. I don't know what that was about. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's what they did, though.
Maybe they did. I don't know, bro. I'm sure they got stylists and fashion people that are in the building. They may have.
They switched ties, man.
I thought it was a great combination for calling the fight.
Yeah. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong right there. You can't go wrong with
everything about the whole entire thing. I agree with you. Everything about the spectacle of it was made for a beautiful night. And I was excited from the first fight, from the Berlanga fight. Was the first one that I really caught. And man, them kids, that kid, it was a tough fight for him. And then it just went on from there. Like it was all good fights after that.
The beautiful thing, like we said, the whole night was one of the nights we're going to remember from this year for sure. Fight of the year, if not the fight of the year contender. We waiting to still see if we got anything else coming down the pipeline, but just one of them nights, man. And the main point about it is it was all about boxing. No frills, no extra shit. It was about boxing, man. And we're going to remember that night for the boxing, man. It's not the Super Bowl. It's boxing, heavyweight championship fight. There's no Britney Spears at the halftime. None of that shit. There's no new Pepsi commercial you just gotta see, so you better tune in. None of that shit. It was about boxing, man.
Yeah,
and that's what I fuck with. Like that's why we here. Shit like that is why Phantom Punch Podcast and just fans of the sport worldwide exist. But nights like that, so
I'm with you.
I can't be no more happy.
I wish. Nothing but the best for both of those fighters. I'm excited to see what comes next for both of them. I think Deontay is on track to do bigger things if he keeps to continue to fight. I
want him to go. I mean,
I think he beats everybody else. I want
him to go punch on AJ just for the sake of it.
And
just for the sake of it.
Listen, if he can get some more boxing skill from Malik Scott, like I think Malik did a good job with him, man.
I second that.
That jab to the body was not there before. Like he made it this far without real boxing IQ. Yeah, without boxing IQ, boxing technique.
He was the least. I think he was the least experienced in his Olympic class, and still came out with a bronze medal.
He was a truck driver. He was a truck driver before all of this happened, and he turned pro and needed to pay for his daughter's medical bills. Like, how can you hate on that man? Honestly, you can't hate on that man. He did it. Exactly. So, hats off to Deontay Wilder, man. Everyone wants to continue to see you in boxing, but if he's done, still hell of a career. Either way.
Yep.
And then what do we got? We got fights coming up, bro. There has been other news. There has been a few other things that have happened in boxing. I know, Wilder Fury is what everyone has talked about.
Of course.
So the official Crawford, I don't feel like we keep saying this, but Crawford Porter is official.
Yeah.
They already had their first.
They both was at the fight. I know they're ready to make their moment.
I'm excited for that fight. They're
ready to make their moment. That's potentially what it is, man.
That could steal the fight of the night.
Steal the year.
Yeah, it could steal the year. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But that fight is coming up in November, and then we have what the hell else?
Shakur and
Shakur and Jamel Herring.
Herring. Shakur and Herring coming up. I think that's top of November.
Yep. That's the end of this month. October,
that's the end of this month.
October 23rd.
Okay.
Nico Ali Walsh is on that card too.
Nice.
Muhammad Ali's son.
Check him out, man. See what his grandson.
Oh, grandson. Yeah, my bad. Grandson.
See what his second fight's looking like. Okay.
Yeah. It's a 4-round fight, but he's the third fight, or he's the not the main event, or not the co-main, but the one just before that. It's a 4-round fight.
What the name holds weight, man.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. And then Ottawa Lean and Dillian White, October 30th. And then in November, Michaela Mayer is back in the ring. And then we have on the 6th, the title fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant.
Another one that what if it turns out to be way more than you expect?
Uh-huh.
What if there's a dog in that ring?
I'm sure. Yeah. He's going to get his ass.
Hey, man.
He's going to get his ass chewed. I'm telling you, bro. Oh, man. That fight is
anything
not the
can
same.
happen, man. It's boxing. I get it, but it's not the same until it is.
Listen.
We think we know, but we don't know until we know.
They kept saying that all night. That's what everybody said. We think we know, but we don't know until we know.
Right.
I'm telling you, I fucking know. But either way, that fight's coming up next month. And then there's another. Oh, that's right. The other fight that just got announced. Ryan Rolly Ramirez is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis.
That's exciting. That's great, and that's closer to getting him where I want him to be at. But I just want to say, why won't you fight Gary Russell?
I don't know.
Huh, Tank? Why won't you fight Gary Russell Jr.? I mean, y'all from the same area, y'all from the same hood. He's saying he the one. He's saying y'all ducking him, y'all been ducking him. And quite frankly, I believe it. I just saw the nigga on I just saw him kill 3 deers this morning. Slice and dice them. Take all the guts out and everything. Get his meat, pause. And then go to the gym. That's what he did today. What'd you do? That man wants smoke with whoever. I'd love to see him get another shot at Loma too, especially right now. But anyway, great fight, Rolly. Tank, that should be interesting. I think Tank still got that, easy in the bag. It just looks a little bit more like it's a even fight, but it's still the same thing. We still getting served the same song. It's just a remix. But yeah, fight Gary Russell Jr., man. Do that for me.
I'd love to see it. I think that is a good fight that should be made. I mean, why not? Gary Russell deserves that too. He's been in the ring with Loma, so and Gervonta hasn't.
Right.
So I don't know. Oh, and speaking of Loma, Teofimo and what the fuck? Oh, Kambosos. That is officially now no longer a Triller card, and that is going to DAZN. Eddie Hearn tweeted out, he's like, all right, let's get this fucking shit over with. Let's get this thing done.
Shout out to Eddie Hearn, man. Thank you.
The savior, Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn to the rescue. I hope that fight is done and over with sooner rather than later so we can see Teofimo in some other shit, man.
Because this was not a fight that we cared this much about.
No, and it's been drawn out so fucking long, bro. I'm so tired of it. Just get this fight over with so we can see some other shit. Because that kid deserves the fight, man.
I mean, like we said, they fumbling his momentum right now, and even he was at the fight. He had a lot to say. I saw him on Fight Hype. Just talking his shit, and saying he stays ready. He's always ready. He's always in shape. He's ready to keep moving and keep pushing for greatness. But I don't know.
I hope so. Honestly, I hope so. I hope Teofimo can pick back up and win. Kambosos is not a slouch though, so I hope he's still taking it seriously, and we can get that.
That was the thing that you just never know how the prolonging of an opponent that's supposed to be beyond this night already. You've been preparing for it for 6 months. Now it's 9 months. Now it's a year. You don't know how that affects. You know what I mean? You can lose interest as a fighter. You can lose interest with anything that's eluding you like that. And that you were supposed to already handle. And you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that weighs on the fight when it actually does happen, if they're still as enthused as they were and prepared as they were when they were ready for the first date.
I'm with you. I agree. Yeah, bro. I'm ready for that fucking fight to get done and over with because I want to see. I feel like he's holding up a lot.
Yeah. Big things.
I feel like I would love to see Loma and him again. I would love to see Loma and other people, but I feel like him, Devin Haney, and all this. I feel like these guys are all kind of waiting on their moves. I heard Devin Haney might be fighting Jojo Diaz. I don't know if that's true or not, but
he beats Jojo.
I think so too. I mean, I don't think Jojo has enough to really compete there, but he does have the title, or he has a belt. So, that's it, bro. That's all I got, man. What else do we have? I don't have much else.
We can whatever we do have next week, man. Right now, it's pretty much y'all know what y'all came here for. This is what it was about, man. Hell of a weekend in boxing, sports history. They'll be talking about this for years to come. I don't know, man. I mean,
that's all I got, bro. I don't know, man. I'm still on I'm still kind of on cloud nine about
still
this.
I'm still high off boxing this week.
I love to see all of this. I thought it was great for the sport. I feel like one little caveat. We're gonna pause before we get out of here, before we wrap up and go to our walkouts and all that. One thing I will be honest about, though, that I'm frustrated with, and I did put it on our gram. I'm just going to mention it here at the end of the pod again. So if you stuck with us this long, it is what it is. Thank you. But the casuals that came out for this fight, right? Because a lot of people are watching this fight. We said it, Super Bowl, the pinnacle of the sport, all of this stuff. Just listen to the professionals. Listen to the people that actually know what the fuck they're talking about, rather than calling for people who have no business in the sport. Rather than calling for the Jake Pauls and the posting the memes and the doing all this shit. Like, this is what the sport is actually about. Mm-hmm. And those guys could never compete at this level.
Right.
Not now, and probably not ever.
Right.
Probably not ever. But like, show some respect to fighters. Show some respect to people that put their life on the line to feed their families. Yeah. I mean, y'all could go on YouTube and make videos. Y'all can post memes and do all that shit. Maybe collect the check and collect the bag that way. But these guys all chose a harder route. They all chose the harder out, that they decided to fight the actual human instinct, which is fight or flight. The human instinct is to flight.
Right.
But these guys stand in the pocket and choose to fight. And they choose to make that their living, and they choose to earn a paycheck that way. And they're just cut from a different cloth that most of these kids who are casuals, most of this folks who like disrespect Deontay for getting knocked out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
No one could. You literally could never do it.
Most of those comments come from people who've probably spent all of 3 minutes fighting in their entire life.
Right. If that.
Your little 20-second street fight. You swung, he swung. That's all. You did that a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really speak on having to face that man 12 rounds in a row, 24 rounds in a row, or 33 rounds, however many fight, how many rounds they put in. You know, the guy that knows what you're strong, what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you can do, what you can't do, what you want to do, and not letting you do that, and you having to figure it out. It's a different thing, man. It's just like you said, another cloth. It's a challenge that the average person doesn't want and shouldn't want to have to be up against. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. So, like, no disrespect should be tolerated. For like we say at the end of every show, salute to every fighter that enters the ring. We know this is the Hurt Business, and this weekend was a clear display of that once again, of what this shit is about and why we have such a love for the sport and why we're such fans of it, and also honor and respect the craft that is the sweet science. You know what I mean?
Facts. End of story. Do you have a walkout, sir?
Yes. Walking out, bone crusher, never scared.
All right, I like it. All right, man.
Can't beat that.
Absolutely not. I am going to walk out to The Mystery of Chess Boxing by Wu-Tang.
Nice.
Yes, sir. I
don't like how you tried to check my hip hop card right there, but
I'm sorry.
Never Scared is a timeless classic.
Absolutely.
Don't get it fucked up.
Absolutely. That remix was crazy too.
Yeah, don't get it fucked up.
It's one of the best remixes in the game ever. Yeah, man. So again, shout out to all of the boxing fans, ladies and gentlemen. We got our Super Bowl for the year.
Yup. Satisfaction.
Yes, I paid too much for that fight, and I am happy with every dollar that I spent. I am perfectly okay with it.
You made it all back.
Yeah, well, yeah. Again, shout out to Edgar Berlanga for going the distance. Thank you, my friends. And also that third round knockdown. Whoo, that sent it over the edge. I didn't think that was like plus 550. I put a little bit on that. I was like, oh, he went down in the third. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe that. So, but yeah, man.
See, betting makes the fight watching experience different.
It does. It does. You know what I mean? It does. Yo, for real. Because I'm watching Berlanga like, yo, you better at least win this fight. Like, you better at least win this fight, please.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when he went down the third, I jumped up for joy and I felt terrible. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It does. Betting on the fight does change how you watch the fight for real.
Yeah. The experience is a totally different thing.
For real.
But yeah, man, that's it. Like we like we always do at this time. Salute to every fighter that enters the ring. We're gonna be here to continue to cover the hurt business for y'all. Paulo Ali here, Johnny Southpaw, Phantom Punch Podcast. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Phantom Punch Podcast, Twitter at Phantom Punch Pod. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Spotify, where Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Check us out there, and we see y'all next week, man.
Peace.